how to teach a really, really hard class. You won't be disappointed. You can ask Brian. Really? You didn't think it was that challenging? I'll have to bring it. I'll have to really amp it up. I usually teach the 7 o'clock class, which is after this. It's a little bit more of a slower flow, and we hold postures a little longer, a little bit more stretching. If you're ever interested in doing that, also it's a nice complement, I think, to the Yoga Ignite. All right, we're right here. Time to start. 5:45. We're going to start on in child's pose. And just check in. What's going on with your body right now? What are you feeling? I know I asked you before we started, but now that you're moving your gaze to a more of an inner experience, what are you feeling? Add your breath to this question. So slowly breathe in and out. Long, slow breath count in and slow breath out. Recently, I was hanging out with some friends, and one of my friends is a detective, and she was talking about going to a crime scene and looking at everything. And I was just so intrigued by this because this profession really makes me curious. And she said one of the things that she does at this crime scene is just gather information. She tries really hard not to create any kind of story in her head about the crime scene, about what she thinks happened, what might have happened. She tries not to listen to anybody else that has opinions on it and just looks at every teeny little tiny detail of what's going on at that crime scene. And I thought about my yoga practice and how that is really what it's about, really gathering information without making a story about it. What's going on in your body right now without making a story about it. Press your hands into the mat and move into downward facing dog. Come up onto your tippy toes, the balls of your feet. Bend your knees and hover your knees above the floor. Tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling and straighten your knees. Press your heels down twice more. Up onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees and hover. Tilt your tailbone. Keep that tilt and straighten your knees without locking them out. Press your heels down to the floor. Last one. Up into your tippy toes. Bend your knees and hover. Tilt your tailbone and straighten your knees as you press your heels down to the floor. Press the mound of each big toe down. Lift your toes up to your shins. Notice how that sends your heels further down to the floor. So press your heels down on the floor as much as you can and lift your toes up and feel your heels go further down to the floor. Last little thing, slide your shoulder blades down to your tailbone. Big breath in. Air out and move to the front of the mat. Inhale, ragdoll. Put your hands on your thighs and move between 2 to 3 sets of cat and dog. So sink your belly down to the floor, lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling, shoulders up to the ceiling, and then the opposite way. So you're creating that dome in your ragdoll, and then tailbone, shoulders up, belly up, just like a cat and cow, like you would in your tabletop, but instead you're doing this against your thighs. Just feel that rippling, that loosening the whole length of your spine. Go back into your ragdoll and stay. Inhale up to stand. Arms go towards the ceiling. Look up towards the ceiling and move your hands to heart center. Without looking at your feet, move them to 12 o'clock. So lining up your hips with your knees and your ankles. Pull in your guts, pull in your ribs, expand across your chest, and tuck your chin in. Release your bind and inhale your arms up. Bend your knees, forward fold. Halfway lift, high push up to low push up. upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Big breath in, air out, step to the head of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, arms reach up. We're going to do the Om because I missed it. Hands to heart center and one Om. Breathe in. Release your hands by your side. Inhale your arms up. Bend your knees. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. High to low push up. Pull in your guts. Really press the mounds of each big toe down. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Again, breathe in. Push it out and move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand. Reach up, look up, fold. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. High push up. Really press your feet and your palms into the floor. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Breathe in. Air out and move to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand. Reach up. Hands to the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. High push up and stay. Right knee tap. Left knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Breathe the air in. All of it out and step to the head of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand, reach up, expand across your chest. Fold. Halfway lift. High push up and stay. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Step to the head of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair and stay. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Twist to the left. Stay for the exhale. Twist back to center. Fold. Halfway lift. High to low push up. Breathe in, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided warrior one and stay. Stay in your warrior one. Arms up to the ceiling. You got 5 breaths here. Go deeper into that knee lunge. Good. We're already at 2. Keep looking up. Press the chin straight back. So level the chin parallel with the floor. Good. One more long, slow inhale. High push up to low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left-sided warrior and stay. Press both feet down into the floor and squeeze your legs together. Lift your pelvis up the whole way to your crown. Straighten your elbows, fingertips, all those joints straight. 2 more together. In. Out. Last one. Hands down to the mat. High to low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles. 2 more. Last one. Move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair. Twist to your right on the exhale. Back to center with your inhale. Twist to the left. Stay for the exhale. Back to center with your inhale. Fold. Halfway lift. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided warrior just for an inhale. Arms up to the ceiling. Touch and go down to the mat. High push up. Low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left-sided warrior. Arms up and hands down to the mat. Guts in. Low push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Move to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifts, fold, chair, twist to the right, center, twist to the left, center, fold, halfway lift, high push up and stay, knee tap on the right, knee tap on the left, low push up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right-sided warrior. Arms up. Yep, you drive the pace. Hands down to the mat. High push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left-sided warrior. Press and reach. Hands down to the mat. High push up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Last sun salutation B. One more inhale. All the air out. Move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold. Chair. Right twist. Center. Left twist. Center. Fold. Halfway lift. Stay in your high push-up. High push-up. Knee tap to the right. Knee tap to the left. Low push-up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided warrior one. Reach your arms up. Hands down to the mat. High push-up. Low push-up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left-sided warrior one. Deliberately stand. Reach up. Look up. Hands down to the mat. High push-up. Slowly breathe out into your low push-up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Lift your right leg in the air. Bend your right knee. Open up your hip and flip your dog. Press your foot onto the floor and reach. Even stretch out your armpit, the whole right side of your body. Stretch to the middle of the room. Side plank, right-sided plank. Put your right hand down. Lift your left arm. Get steady. Oblique crunches. Left arm, you're going to swing that underneath your body and back up to the ceiling. Left arm underneath your body and back up to the ceiling. One more time. Underneath, up to the ceiling. High push-up. Get steady. Low push-up. Strong low push-up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Lift your left leg in the air. Bend your left knee. Open up your hip and flip your dog. And press and stretch. Press both of your feet in the floor. Stretch your left fingertips as much as you can towards the middle of the room. Side plank. Left arm down. Left hand down. Press, press, press. And now your oblique crunches. Right arm underneath your body and stretch it back up. Yes, stay steady. Right arm under and back up. So slow is steady. Steady is fast. Arm back up to the ceiling. Strong core, high push-up. Pause in your high push-up. Low push-up. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right-sided crescent warrior. Move your right foot up to your right hand. Start with your hands on your hips. Get control of your breathing. Get control of your breathing. If you can control your breathing, you can control your emotions. Press both feet down into the floor and bend your right knee more. Get way down into it. You're after a stretch on the front side of your left thigh. So even bounce a little bit. That's it. Just feel that stretch. Arms up to the ceiling and hands to heart center and twist. Twist to your right. Open up your arms. Pay attention to your breath. It'll calm you down. A slow 4 count in and a slow 4 count out. Stay strong. Inhale for that length. The next time you exhale, rotate your spine more. Even look up towards the ceiling more on your exhale. Back into your crescent warrior and warrior 2. Open up and stay in your warrior 2. Get about 5 to 6 breaths here. So start by polishing your posture. Look down at your feet. Ensure that you're lined up, heel to middle of arch. So you could move your right foot just to right here. And that will line your heel up to your middle of your arch. Bend in your right knee more, and then straighten your torso. Get your torso lined up. Let it like kind of hover above your pelvic bowl. Breathe in. Out. Twice more in. Air out. Flip your front palm. Reverse your warrior. Go ahead and drag your arm back. Big long stretch. Straighten your right knee. Huge lateral flexion here in your spine. Back down into your extended side angle. Extended side angle. And here you work it for at least 5-2. So incrementally go deeper into this sustainable alignment, meaning ankle lined up with knee, heart up towards the ceiling, super long spine. Feel that length from your pelvic bowl the whole way through the crown of your head. Hands down to the mat, high push-up, nice discipline. Low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Crescent on the left, same deal. Start with your hands on your hips. Crescent on the left. You want that clear, solid 4-part breathing. This is not a Lamaze class, right? Steady. And now bounce just a bit. You want that stretch in the back side of your, or the front side of your right thigh. Do you feel that stretch? Just linger in that stretch. Arms up to the ceiling. Now we do this together. 4 more. 3. As a community, 2 more slow inhale and exhales. Final 1. And twist. Twist to your left. Now you learned how to breathe there and use that lesson in this more difficult posture. Whenever you twist, it's a little hard to breathe. It's a little bit more challenging. So concentrate on getting the air in and out of your lungs. 2 more. Final breath cycle. Back into your crescent warrior and open up to warrior 2. I'm watching you. Pay attention to all the cues you've probably ever heard in a yoga class. Lining your heel up with the middle of your arch, really bending that front knee. Now feel the lift from your pelvic bowl the whole way through the crown of your head. Expand across your chest. Get wide across your chest. And just push your jaw straight back slightly. Gaze is soft. For this last 2 breath cycles, ease, ease, ease. Trust your alignment. You've stacked all your bones. Now just trust with your ease and your exhale that you can stay. Reverse your warrior. Flip your front palm. Reverse and straighten your front leg. This is more in the spine, friends. Really go deep in the spine, that huge lateral flexion, down into your extended side angle. Move your left hand in front of your knee. You're asking for a deep knee bend here. So get that knee around 90 degrees. That's it. Very nice. Great alignment. And stick straight spine. If you feel that curving in your spine, come out of it slightly in order to create a long spine. Last breath cycle. Hands down to the mat. High push-up. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Step to the head of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifts. Fold. And chair. But we're going to go into that iron footstool that Megan usually gives us. So up onto the balls of your feet, way up as high as you can go, and then start to bend your knees until your thighs are parallel, arms straight out. Okay, breathe. 1 more. Heels down, chair pose. Twist to the right. It's the breath, right? Get really disciplined and deliberate with the inhale when you're in a twisting pose. Concentrate on getting the air into your lungs. And on the exhale, you're free to really twist. Feel that unraveling back up into your chair pose and fold. Grab your big toes with your 2 fingers, halfway lift, and fold. One thing that's really interesting to me is that your heart takes a break in between beats, right? Every time your heart contracts, its rest is that little bit of time between beats. This is your rest right now. It might be short in your perception, but take advantage of it. Control of your breathing, clarity in your thoughts. You're here in this room right now. That's all you're doing right now. Chair pose and iron footstool. Up under the ball mounds of your feet, and then bend your knees. Keep flexing, flexing, flexing until thighs are parallel. Shoulders, retract them and slide your shoulder blades down your back. Lower your heels, chair pose, and twist to your left. Twist to your left. You found your edge, Stephanie. I applaud you right there. That's what we're looking for. Finding the edge tonight. 2 more. In, out. Last breath. Twist, twist, twist. Back into your chair and fold. Step on your palms, gorilla pose. So lift your feet and step right on your palms. Relax your head. Tuck your chin way into your chest. Shake your head, no and yes, maybe. Release your bind. Heel toe your feet apart. Low goddess squat. Low goddess alasana. So the further you get your feet apart, the more likely you are to be on your flat feet. Stay there or start to move into your crow. Squeeze your knees against your arms as much as you can. Palms to the floor. Keep squeezing, 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 and start playing with some weight acceptance into your arms. We're staying for 3. Yes, Brian. 2. Last one. Chaturanga. Go ahead and shoot it on back. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand. Right-sided eagle pose. Right-sided eagle pose. So right arm under and right leg over. Press your standing foot into the floor. Squeeze your legs together and lift your torso straight. Tuck your chin just slightly. Feel that length from your tailbone the whole way through the crown of your head. Left-sided eagle. Find that spot that's not moving, that dristi, that point. That'll help you stay up. One more. And release. Right-sided eagle. Right-sided standing leg raise. Release your arms and grab your right knee. Grab your right knee. Externally open, rotate that hip. Take your knee to the side. You got it. Gaze to the other side. That dristi, that focus is so important here. Find that still spot and stare at it. Bring your knee back to center, dancing Shiva. Switch your grip. Put your left hand on your knee and then twist to behind the room. So you're just going to switch your grip, left hand on your knee, and twist with gaze towards the back of the room, dancing Shiva. And back to center, release, left-sided eagle pose. Standing leg raise. Capture your left foot with your left or left knee with your left hand or foot, and then open up. Good. Bring the breath with you. Rediscovered over and over again. Knee back to center and switch your grip, dancing Shiva. Really pull on that knee and feel that lovely twist. Even your gaze goes towards the wall behind you. And then back to center and release. Lift your right knee up just for a moment. Airplane pose. Press your foot straight on back for airplane pose. And lift. Feel your whole body lifting up as if air is underneath all of your lifted appendages. Stay with it. Half moon. Reach your right hand up towards the ceiling as much as your left hand is down to the floor towards your heart. And lift your right leg. Add some awareness to that. Standing hip, your left hip. Open it just another micrometer and release, forward fold. So you're really quiet with the breath there. It's tempting to hold your breath in those standing postures. So let's just think about that on the other side. Come on up to the stand and just bring your left knee up just for a moment. I just like to prep this way for airplane. You can take your arms up to the ceiling. And now we'll move into the airplane. So left-sided airplane pose. Feel that lift. Half moon. I'm hearing the breathing. Join in with the breathing. That standing hip, your right hip. Can you rotate it just a bit more to stack your hips on top of each other? That's it. Lifting your leg, lifting your hand, and then wake up your toes. Flex your ankles. Last breath. Swing your leg down to meet your other forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale up to stand, right sided standing bow. So right arm out like you're holding pizza, I guess this time of year. We're done with the cookies. Bend your right knee and reach back and grab your ankle. That's it. So yeah, you want to keep this rotation of your forearm because it's tempting to go like this, but you want to keep it like this because it opens up your shoulder a little more. Yes, nice. I'm just going to bend down so I'm not in your view there, Andrea. Keep lifting up in this posture. Really open up and release. Other side. So look down at your feet to start. Make sure they're at 12 o'clock. Get steady Eddie. Bend your left knee and capture your left ankle from the inside. Yes, yes, yes. Once you have that, then start to lean forward and lift. Relax your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder get really gooey and easy as you kick against it. Let it be a pectoral stretch here as you lift your arm up towards the ceiling and your foot up towards the ceiling and release. Second set, right side. Let's all breathe in. Out. 2 more in. Out. Last breath cycle. Really lift up and release. Nice, Ryan. That's it, Brittany. Other side, last set. Did we do both sides? Are you going to lie to me? Did we do both sides? Okay. You're like, yeah, we did. We did. Grab your left foot. That's it, Andrea. And you can push against my hand. It might mess up with your balance, but that's the sense you want to have. Just pushing as you kick. Very nice. And release. Not sure I helped you out much there. Right-sided tree pose. Put your right foot on the inside of your ankle or calf or up at your thigh. And start with your hands in heart center. Really push your hands together. Feel that. Keep your hands together and lift them above your head. Can stay right here or separate your hands. But I will say this, with your hands together, it is a little extra balance challenge because you don't have your arms out to the side to help with the balance. Slowly inhale. And exhale, hang on to it. That was awesome. Other side. A for effort. Sometimes I try to pretend I'm on a tightrope and I'm way above the sky or, above the earth. And then if I come out of it, I'll die. That's kind of, morbid. But That's my incentive, to stay mindful and focused. And you can use that same hand placement if you'd like to, or try something new, but definitely breathe. That's the number one rule. And release. Inhale both of your arms up to the ceiling. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Downward facing dog, triangle posture. So from your downward facing dog, move into triangle. Move your right foot forward. I recommend putting a block behind your right ankle. So right foot forward into your triangle pose. Yeah, you would probably benefit from that. If you put that there and come up onto your fingertips, actually, then you have that length in your spine, which is what we're after. And this back foot traditionally is on the floor, the whole thing smeared into the floor. Yep, lining up, just like you would warrior two. Now hoist your hips up towards the ceiling. In other words, your left hip, as if you had a bag or a baby on that left hip, hoist that up to the ceiling. Feel that stretch on the front inner line of your front leg. Make it feel good. Oh gosh, this is a lovely stretch. If it's too crazy for you right now, you can always take your left arm out of the equation and bind it behind your lower back so you can enjoy that stretch. Boy, you guys are so disciplined. You ignite people. Come up to standing. Wide leg forward fold at the long edge of your mat. Put your hands on your hips and go ahead into your wide leg forward fold. Watch those knees. Make them a little soft, a little flexed. So flex your knees. And move your hands way out in front of you. Glue your finger pads into the floor. They'll just stick there. And move your tailbone towards the space behind you. Bend your knees quite a bit here. Just stretch out as long as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Listen carefully. We're going to do something slightly different. Go into a low runner's lunge. So pivot your torso towards your right foot into a low runner's lunge. A low runner's lunge. Put your left knee down on the floor. We're going to go into a seated twist. Move your butt back with your legs crossed. Then you can twist over your left knee. You got it. So you're twisting this way. Yep, you got it. Twisting this way. Now you can always extend this leg if that makes more sense in your body. Get long with your spine. Yes, that's it. Look behind you. Yes. So add your head into this length. Very nice. Now counter twist. Take both of your hands down to the floor on the other side just to feel that counter twist. And then hands forward. Swing back into your downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left-sided triangle pose. So move your left foot forward. If you're using a block, it goes behind your left ankle. Press down into both of your feet. Squeeze your legs together. Feel that length from your tailbone the whole way through the crown of your head. So create that length. Good. Awesome breathing. Yes. Keep nourishing every cell in your body with your breath. One more. Wide leg standing fold. So come up to a standing position. Long edge of your mat. With a bind, interlace your fingers at your low back and move your knuckles down to the floor, hug in your guts and forward fold. Let your arms spill over your head and towards the floor. If that bind is too much, a strap is always helpful. But another choice, if you don't have a strap, is to kind of pulse. You can lift your arms off your lower back and then back down to your lower back and then off of your lower back and then down your lower back. Do you want to do that, Brian, or no? Do you want to try the bind? It feels so good on your shoulder. A little shoulder flossing, I call it. All right, go ahead and release your bind. Linger here for a moment. Feel that stretch on the back side of your body. And now that low runner's lunge once again. So move into a low runner's lunge with your left foot oriented forward. Put your right knee down on the floor and then just start to slide your butt back, crossing both knees. And then we're going to go for the twist. Once you're in that twist shape, then inhale, get long. In fact, sometimes I like to tap my fingertips behind me and get my spine really long. And then I can go to the twist. So you're twisting that. Nope, you were cool. The way your legs are, yep, but you're twisting that way. Keep your legs right where they are. And then this hand, this guy here is over here. Oh, you did the other way, so you have to wind up the other way. All right. Make sure you get both sides or you'll walk out of here funny. All right, counter twist. Both hands down the opposite side, and then swing your legs out behind you. Downward facing dog. High push up and stay in your high push up. Forearm plank. Move your forearms down into the floor and stay in your forearm plank. Now you can stay here still, or you could lift your right foot off of the mat, tap it down the outside of your mat, bring it back. Left foot up, tap, bring it back. Right foot up, tap, bring it back. Left, tap. Last set. And Sphinx pose. So once you lower your whole body down to the floor, forearms out a little bit more and wider, and lift your heart up for your Sphinx pose. Look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Tuck your toes under as if you were doing a push-up. And stretch your knuckles towards the space behind you. Press your toes into the floor so much so that your knees and your thighs lift off of the floor. That's it. Stay with it. Locust pose. Lift your arms off of your low back, up, up, up towards the ceiling with the bind, and release. Brian's like, forget it. Right ear to the mat. Rotate your head. Put your right ear on the mat. Brittany, did you lose your buddy? Let your shoulders drape down to the floor. Interlace your hands behind your head and lift your interlaced arms and head off of the mat. Now you can add the legs if you want to, or you can just concentrate on the upper body, but you're just going to slightly dip the right elbow down to the floor, come back to center, left touches down and back to center. About 3 of these sets. Of course, legs can be included or not included. You're really concentrating on this upper body, upper back strength. And lower on down. Put your left ear on the floor. So rotate your head, putting your left ear on the floor. Reach back and grab your ankles for floor bow. Squeeze your legs together, even squeeze your shins together. Bring your legs together. Once you have that, drawing in, now kick. Kick against your hands. Relax your shoulders. You can even take your gaze slightly up, but don't kink the back of your neck. So tuck your chin just a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Keep lifting your thighs off of the floor. So you're not only using your strong quads, you're using your back muscles too. And release. Let it go. Bend your knees and draw a sweeping circle with both feet in one direction and a big circle in the opposite direction. Second set, grab your ankles and hold on for dear life. Squeeze your legs together. Get that drawing into center, and from there, lift. Lift your legs, lift your head, and open up your shoulders. So your quads are really doing all the work. They're really strong muscles, right? Let them do all the work and relax your shoulders. Just let them go. And release. Upward facing dog. Did all of you play sports? And downward facing dog. It just seems like as soon as I say something, the whole class responds so quickly. You've got such great discipline as a whole group out there, Ryan and Brittany, too. Put your knees down on the floor. Put your hands on your lower back, camel pose. Lift that big old heart of yours up towards the ceiling. Just think about the layers of stretch going on here right now. Your lung tissue, heart tissue, all the sheets of tissue around your lungs and your heart, muscles, cartilage, bone, skin. Just feel all those layers letting go, opening you up to something new. Tuck your toes and sit on your heels. So tuck your toes and sit on your heels. Like my butt doesn't go on my heels, but I'm going towards my heels. So you're just going to keep those toes tucked. So good for your feet. If you have plantar fasciitis, this is the cure. This has cured my plantar fasciitis. Just let that all stretch out for a moment. And then untuck your toes, put your toenails on the floor, and you can lift one knee at a time or both knees. Some people can actually lift both knees at the same time and come up onto their toes if they want to, but you're stretching out the tops of your feet just for a moment. And then swing your legs out in front of you, arms to a T, lower the whole way down to the floor, bridge pose. So bend your knees, press your feet right into the floor, and come on up to your first bridge pose. This is one of 6. So up you go for bridge pose. Bend your right knee into your chest and press your right foot up towards the ceiling. Listen carefully. Keep your knee extended. Keep your knee straight and lower your whole leg down towards the floor, but don't let it touch. That's exactly it. You're all doing it. And straight back up 2 more times. Lower the whole leg down to the floor. Good. And draw it back up. Last time, lower it down and move it back up. Bend your knee into your chest, put your foot on the floor, and let your butt go down to the floor. You could swing your legs left and right to neutralize your lower back a bit. Back into your bridge, and let's do the other side. So this is number 2. Left knee into your chest. Reach your foot straight up towards the ceiling. Keep your knee extended and lower the whole entire leg at your hip joint down to the floor and lift it up. So good for those flexors. Good. 2 more times. Those hip flexors on the front side of your left thigh. Really wake them up. Last time, lower and lift. Knee into your chest and foot down onto the floor. All right, 4 more bridge your wheels, your choice. We're going to go up for 3 breath cycles for this first one. So up into your bridge or your wheel. Good. We're already at 2. Last breath cycle. And down you go. 3 more, bridge your wheel. You can always stay up for the entire time, but lift it on up. This is the 3rd to go. You got 3 more, counting this one. Good. Press into your feet and press into your hands. Even your shoulders, feel them pressing up towards the ceiling and lower your body down to the mat. Last 2 of your choice. Bridge your wheel, up you go. Let's see what this next version of your posture brings to you. Squeeze your legs together. Yes, nice adjustment. Keep lifting your heart up. 2 more final breath cycles. See what you can see here. You're gathering the data, gathering the information, and down you go. A last breath cycle. Bridge or wheel, and on up. So thinking about my friend who's the detective, looking at all of these different pieces, whether they're important or not at the time, that's what you're doing right now. One of my good friends always checks in with her chakras, if you've ever heard of that before, when she's in bridge or wheel. All right, and come on down, Supta Baddha Konasana. The soles of your feet together, let your knees drift down to the floor. Control your breathing. Happy baby. Grab the soles of your feet. Rock left and right. Then legs straight up towards the ceiling. Scissor legs. Lower your right leg down to the floor and then switch. Left leg goes down as your right leg goes up. So they're simultaneously switching. I've been practicing forever, and I really didn't wrap my brain around this till relatively recently. So just like my arms are doing, that's what you're doing with your legs. Simultaneously twist. Get a little bit more, I'm sorry, switch. Get a little more fire in your core doing that scissor legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest and lift your legs up to the ceiling. I suggest interlacing your hands behind your head and crunching up to your thighs. That'll support your lower back if you keep that crunch and lower both legs down to the floor. Both legs down to the floor. Slowly. You don't have to pause. Just low, 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 low. And big pendulum swing to the right. Big pendulum swing with both legs to the left. Good. Twice more. Huge pendulum swing. Try not to use momentum, using your core strength, and then come back to stillness in the center and slowly come up. We have 2 more sets. They're a little different though. Slowly lower, lower, lower. Open up your legs as much as you can. Cross them in the center. Open, cross, open, cross, open, cross, open, cross, open, cross. Stillness and legs up towards the ceiling. This is the easiest one yet. Lower your legs to the floor. Lower, lower, lower. Now we just flutter. Flutter for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bicycles 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock forward and back, and come up to a seated position like I'm demonstrating. Put your hands behind your thighs, pull on your thighs, and make your spine as straight as possible. Keep that, or open up your arms. Keep that, or lift one leg and then the other leg. So this is boat pose. If you want both legs up, by all means, go ahead, but don't lose the integrity of your spine. You can always go back to a previous step. Put both feet on the floor. Wrap your arms around your shins. Put your forehead on your knees. We got 2 more. Hands behind your thighs. Pull, long spine. Stay or add arms. Stay or add lifts or add both lifts if you can keep the integrity of your spine. Nice. Just a few more moments here. And both flat feet on the floor. Wrap your hands around your shins, forehead to your knees. Last one, pulling on your thighs, long spine. That pulling on your thighs engages your latissimus muscles. So it really helps lengthen your spine to pull on your thighs just to get that all set up. And then arms out and then lift. Yep, you got it. Very nice. Good. One final moment and wrap it on up. Swing your legs out behind you. Half pigeon on the right. Of course, you can always take it reclining. So I'm just really curious, in your half pigeon, I'd love to see give me a thumbs up if you ever played in a sport or you are engaged in a lot of other activity. Yep, I knew it. Sports or any other athletic activities. Really? Man, you guys really bring it. Hiking, well, yeah, that's the hiking counts. Skiing, hiking, biking, anything like that. Skiing, ballet, I knew it. Stephanie, biking, hiking. Oh, Marlena, there it is. I almost lost it. Cheerleading, yep, a whole group of really great athletes here. So I would just hanging out with you for this amount of time. I would say that sukha is important in your life, ease, relaxation. So this part of the practice brings that sukha, that ease. And that's one of the lovely things about yoga. It's the balance between the effort, the stira, which is a lot of what you were up to earlier in this class. And now moving into the challenge of allowing yourself to find the ease. You can switch to the other side. Keep your left leg where it is, double pigeon. So swing your right leg around and stack them up for double pigeon. For double pigeon, I really like to sit on a block. Is anybody interested in sitting on a block for double pigeon? So double pigeon to get, if you're the type of person where your knees are way up to your face, if you sit on a block, it gives you just a little bit more room to try to stack your shins on top of each other. Yeah. So another option is to come off your block and just straighten one leg and stack them up. So this is also nice. I do this too. Can bend that one knee a little bit and just kind of hang on for dear life. I'm with you, Andrea. I'm so tight. Lisa, the owner of the studio, calls me the Tin Man. I know she means it, in a loving. All right, let's go ahead and switch the other way. So remember, it's a stacking of the shins. So really, we want that up the ankle on top to be kind of off the edge, if you can, of your knee. Yeah. Now, if you easily can do this, then go ahead and reach forward and forward fold of your legs. You're making it look too easy. So yeah, so you can forward fold. It's not mandatory. But if you're not feeling much just sitting there, then forward fold. Just another moment here. And release. So extend your right leg out on the floor and left foot put on the inside of your thigh. Single seated leg extension. Tent your fingertips on either side of that extended leg and make your spine really long. Just like we did with that forward fold, stick your finger pads on the floor and get your spine long. And as if your heart is going towards your foot, that's the sensation you want. And then go ahead and round forward. Let your forehead go down to your knee. Feel that stretch across your lower back. This sukha right here is so good for you athletes. So good. Okay, let's go the other way. Tent your fingertips around your extended foot. You can lift your arms up. That's a great way to get length. I personally also like to stick my finger pads on the floor, kind of drag my hands towards my foot, and I can sometimes get a little bit more access to length that way. Once you got a hold of whatever you got a hold of, your shin or your foot, round your spine, let your forehead go right down to your knee or your thigh. Take inventory. Like my detective friend, what are you finding in your body right now? What information can you gather without creating a story around it? You're just learning about what's going on in your body in this moment, because every moment it's different. And then come on up to your long spine. Extend both legs out in front of you, arms up, and reach for your feet. I really like to bend my knees in this one. You might like to bend your knees, Andrea. That might, but I guess you got your feet already. That's interesting. It's the hip. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I'm universally tight, so inhale, long spine, and exhale, round into it a bit more. Tabletop, plant your hands behind your back and lift your body up into your reverse tabletop. If your head likes it, let your head dangle and then make a big circle with your body in one direction and a big circle with your body in the other direction. And then come on down for a short fish pose. You can put your fingertips underneath your tush and just lift your heart up to the ceiling. We're literally going to be here for about a breath here in this fish pose. And then an inversion of your choice, plow pose, to shoulder stand, or if you want something a bit more suka-ish, sugar-ish, you could do a legs up the wall or grab a block and put underneath your lower back. So what sports did you play? Hiking. Oh, I love hiking. Brian, what other athletic endeavors have you done or do you do? Really? Uh-huh. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Uh-huh. Yeah. If you are in shoulder stand, return to your plow and start to slowly come on out. And supine twist to one way. Doesn't matter which way, but supine twist to one way. Sure. Flip it through the other way. Supta Baddha Konasana. And there's a cool eye towel near the head of your mat. You can put that over your eyes or your forehead. Shavasana. I'm going to say a part of your body as I do. Move your awareness to that part of your body. Forehead. Eyes. Jaw. Relax your jaw. Your throat. Shoulders. Elbows. Hands and fingers. Heart. Belly button. Thighs. Knees. Relax your ankles. Your feet. Heels. Calves. Behind your knees. Lower back. Upper back. Shoulders. And the back of your skull. Imagine your next inhale sweeping down the whole front side of your body to the toes, and your exhale from your heels the whole way back and beyond your skull. This rhythm of breath expanding beyond the boundaries of your skin. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock over onto your right side. Put your forehead on the floor and press up to a seated position. Put your hands on your knees. Pull on your knees. Feel that lower back muscle engaged to give you length, the whole length of your spine from the tailbone beyond the crown of your head. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Move your hands to heart center. One final Om together. Inhale. Namaste. Hey, you really should acknowledge yourself because your practice is very inspiring, each of you. I think about when I played softball when I was a kid, and my coach was always like, "Run, come on, get off the outfield." But I could tell you guys probably ran off the outfield, just going right into the postures. So nice practice. Thanks for coming, Ryan. Have a good one.